Alright, y'all, for those that already know, we've been finished with the piece, but I'm just not getting to this vibe, making it happen. I just wanted to go over it with y'all, let y'all know what I was doing. But for those that don't know, that didn't follow along the journey, we definitely did this whole piece with all black. I didn't use triple black, it was the basic dynamic black. And I believe the speed I was using on this stuck around 6 volts. I was in between 6 and 7, but I felt more comfortable around 6 volts because it was moving slower, and I was able to get comfortable with that black with packing. If you notice the bottom of this piece, this was my first time really using black for a whole piece, and the bottom of this piece, the shading was a lot choppy, so I want y'all to look out for that. But this all black, it will definitely help you build up patience, because if you don't have no patience, I guarantee you will go solid dark and mess up your whole piece. So you need this patience so you can stay light on your hand and keep it moving at a smooth, consistent pace to get those tones smooth, because we weren't just going for tones, we was going for smoothness. I'm really working on these tones to really try to get the smoothest possible. And also them hairs, y'all notice I was using the mag. 7 curve mag is my go-to. Sometimes I use the 11, that's the next go-to, but I will use the edge of that mag. Don't just catch yourself using the mag flat. I'm using the edge to where I'm trying to pull hairlines. I'm not trying to shade it in as if we're blocking in the shape. No, we're kind of pulling hairlines at that point. But on the face, like the creases in the face, I probably went to that 7 curve mag. My bad, y'all, that was just the castanet. I just wanted to show like the progress that we made, and that was big old progress, because that castanet we definitely used gray wash. And then you see how dark that was. That gray wash is only going to make you like pack that color, pack them blacks, black them tones, and it's going to only darken up your piece. But by using this black, you slightly brushing across to where you building up that tone. And if you just do a circle on some skin with a 7 curve mag, all black ink, and try to get those darks to the lightest tone, and you will see how much it really tremendously make a big old difference, because you know how light you gotta tap the skin in order to build up your tones. So if you don't know about building up your tones, start with black, build it up, and you will see easily by the next tattoo you will see a tremendously progress. My bad, y'all gonna definitely see some progress. And if y'all don't know, what I use to clean off the skin is regular A&D ointment. That's all you gotta use, regular A&D ointment. This was a little zoom in just because I wanted to show y'all, but I think this was a 3-round liner I did on the eyes. And remember, you don't want no hard lines on your eyes. A lot of people mess up and make hard lines. So basically, I'm using this liner as like a shader. As you notice how I'm kind of softly brushing back and forth, shaping that eye out. You don't want to shape it out with a hard line. The only reason I got it a bit hard at the top is because eyelashes is normally dark. That's mostly like the darkest thing on the picture if you see it, because they are black. So I kind of shape out the top of that eyelid with those eyelashes. The bottom is mainly like the eyeball and the skin from your eye socket. So basically you want that a lot more softer. And we didn't do an amazing job, but that's why we here today, so we can critique it and we can look back at it like, oh, I know we did wrong. You see in the eyeball, I kind of brushed the shade in first, and then you're going to see me come back with the line of the texture of the eye. But by being so small, you don't want to go with too much texture. You know why? Because it's only going to darken it up. But I try to go saturated because I want it to be like a soft, solid feel. I don't want it to be like brushed into where it look like nothing but lines. Now mind you, we still got some lines in here, and as you notice, I messed up the spot on the nose for sure because I went too dark. But as we continue to progress throughout this piece, I made adjustments. As you notice, look at the left side of the head. I did the hair with a 3-round liner, and look at that hair compared to the hair above it that I did with the 7 curve mag. It's a tremendous difference. That's why I say you just gotta adjust as you go throughout a piece. Because if you don't adjust, you're just gonna continue to make the same mistakes. But the best part is noticing those mistakes and making adjustments. Because if we don't notice it, we can't fix it. So number one thing, admit to yourself, be honest with yourself, and know, okay, this part we did wrong, let's adjust. Same thing in this case for the eye. If I did something wrong on the right eye, guess what? It's my time to adjust. Let's go on the left eye and figure it out. But a good thing to kind of keep track of that before you go full in, I always say light to dark. That's why you see me building up. So you could just, if you need to hit both eyes in, hit them both light. See how it's looking, and then you build up into your darks and get darker and then to your black. But I went straight in with the pupil black because I know for sure the pupil is all black. Ain't no tones in the pupil except for that highlight that we just leaving the skin break. This is another thing that I recommend to everybody. It's like, just because you move from the bottom to the top, because I always recommend everybody to start from the bottom and move their way up to the top. But if we look back down and I see something like on that nose, bam, let me take out my curve mag, 11 curve mag, whatever needle you're using, and let's try to smooth it out a little bit more, because you're gonna always see things. That's why I always recommend go over it, look back, look forward, look ahead. You know, it don't matter, you're gonna always hit spots. So you could do it in the order. This fake skin, so you could do it in any order you prefer. You don't have to do it from bottom to top, but on real skin for sure, I recommend bottom to top. Don't overdo it, because like real skin, the reason for doing it from bottom to top for sure is you don't want to mess up that stencil. If you bounce around that stencil and you mess it up, guess what? It's going to be a real tough job trying to come back from that, unless you know how to perfectly replace a stencil and put it on again. But don't make that mistake. Just go back to your bottom to top fake skin. Let me say bottom to top real skin, and you can move around all you want on fake skin. But one thing I also said, like I just cleaned the skin, just make sure you continue to clean it, because I will hit a lot of black, like packing, think I did something, but when you wipe it off, it look like only 10% of the ink stuck. So just know, it's take patience, and it's gonna take a lot of layering, packing on top before you actually get to those final results. All right, y'all, we done got to our white. And one thing I used to say, oh man, I'm not gonna use no white because white don't stick. Like I told y'all, I took the Norbici course. I seen them use some white. Now, like, you know what? Let me get this a try. And the white sticks. It just don't look like that in person. You can see it, but it's not as bright. Just like on this picture, it's not as bright. You can see it, but it's not as bright. But say, you know what? Why not? It ain't like the white gonna fade off. We ain't gotta walk around with this tattoo on us. It's on the fake skin. So let's go ahead and enhance this tattoo, but I do it in areas that's already got skin breaks, not to overlay it on top of the blacks, because it's gonna make a gray. And if you notice, you is not seeing no areas of gray, because I'm not packing it on top of none of our colors. Because of course black and white gonna make our gray. So y'all remember to leave those skin breaks. They definitely need it. And as you see, I hit the white, but now I'm coming back touching most spots. But you know why? Because if you're trying to go for the best results, you're gonna always see something wrong. And do it on real skin as well. When you see something wrong, go back, adjust, try to fix it. Like I said, we don't use the white to highlight or make our tattoo. We use it to accent the tattoo. But I continue to repeat, y'all, and just tell everybody, like, it's no secrets. All it takes is the hard work and dedication. I promise, as long as you put in that time, you're gonna get the results. So it's just like kind of anything. Like they say, you're only gonna get out what you put in. So if you decide to put in 2 hours a day, you're gonna get 2 hours of results. You put in 4 to 8 hours, guess what? You seeing results like firsthand, boom, boom. You're gonna see the results easy, because you're doing it more. You put more time in. And of course, the more time you put in, the more you can get done per day. Like with this, I was not putting the time in that I really needed to dedicate to this. That's why it took me I started probably February, March. And I recently finished it like in July, because I was not putting the time dedicated that was needed. But above all else, just please stay consistent. If you do 1, 2, 3, whatever, how many hours a day, stay consistent and stick with it. I appreciate you all, and I hope y'all all learned something from this.